Welcome to Instacast.
Right. So we're back. And today, we're going to dive into something pretty wild.
Yeah.
Day 15 of this YouTuber trying to make $100,000
100,000?
from 1 cent
Yeah.
in a month.
Crazy.
And the catch is he can't use his brand.
Right.
He can't leverage his existing audience or anything like that.
Yeah, it's all about, like, starting from scratch.
From zero.
Yeah, using his skills, but not, not his name.
Right, exactly. He can't just be like, hey, it's me, buy my stuff.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Which is, I think, a pretty fascinating challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So today we're checking in. He's in Amsterdam now.
Amsterdam.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he managed to get himself a free penthouse.
Wow, a penthouse.
Yeah, for an event.
Okay.
But there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
Always a catch, right?
Yeah.
So what's the catch with the penthouse?
Okay, so to use this amazing penthouse, right, he has to host an event
Okay.
for like 30 to 50 people.
Okay, that's a decent-sized event.
It is
Especially when you're starting from scratch.
absolutely. And especially for this guy.
Yeah.
He is terrified of public speaking.
Oh, no.
I know, right? And to make it even worse,
Uh-oh.
it has to be in English,
Oh, wow.
which is not his native language.
Oh, that's tough. So double whammy there.
Huge, huge challenge for him. But you know what? He doesn't let that stop him.
Yeah.
Instead of like freaking out, he says, okay, I'm going to face this fear.
Wow.
Starts planning this presentation and even connects with this guy, Matthias,
Okay.
who's a local community founder, to like help him organize everything.
So he's getting resourceful. He's
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got to put this event on.
Exactly.
And he's reaching out and making connections already.
Exactly. Yeah. So smart.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole like, I guess it's a say yes first, figure it out later
Yeah.
kind of approach?
All right.
Because it seems risky, but also kind of inspiring.
It is risky, for sure.
Yeah.
You're kind of walking a tightrope there. But,
Yeah.
For entrepreneurs, I think
Yeah.
that willingness to jump into the unknown
Right.
is essential. It's like,
You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
exactly. Yeah. You have to trust
Yeah.
that you can learn and adapt as you go.
Makes sense.
Like, think about Richard Branson,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
He built this empire
Yeah.
by constantly saying yes to new ventures,
Yeah.
even when he didn't have all the answers at the start.
Right. Right.
But, this doesn't mean being reckless.
No.
It's more about calculated risks
Right.
and having the confidence to figure things out on the fly.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's easier said than done. Right.
It is, yeah.
It's one thing to say, oh, I'm going to take risks and figure it out. It's another thing to actually do it,
Totally, totally.
especially when there's so much pressure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like in this case, $100,000 on the line.
Yeah. No kidding.
And it's not just the external stuff either, right? Like
Right.
he's also dealing with this fear
Oh, yeah.
of public speaking,
Yeah, that internal battle.
which is so real.
So real for so many people.
Yeah.
And I think this episode does a great job of like showing that emotional side
Yeah, for sure.
of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. It's not all like Lamborghinis and private jets.
No, not at
There's
all.
there's a lot of struggle and
Hustling. Yeah.
and like self-doubt
Absolutely.
and all that
Right,
stuff
yeah.
that you don't always see.
That's correct.
And part of that comes through in his meeting with another community founder
Oh, yeah.
named Luigi.
Luigi.
Luigi's story it's really powerful.
Yeah, tell me about Luigi.
So Luigi moved to Amsterdam from London.
Okay.
He experienced this like devastating loss. His mother passed away,
Oh, wow.
and he found this sense of like grounding and purpose
Okay.
in building a community.
Wow.
So, it's a reminder that everyone has their own journey,
Yeah.
their own challenges,
Right.
and that even in the midst of hardship,
Yeah.
people can find ways to connect
Yeah.
and create something meaningful.
That's really beautiful.
It is, yeah.
And, for our YouTuber in this challenge, like, hearing Luigi's story
Yeah.
really emphasizes the importance of things like routine,
Yeah, routine's huge.
goal setting, of
Absolutely.
having that support system.
Right, especially when you're taking on something, this big and challenging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something we can all relate to, right?
Totally, yeah.
Like, think about how much more focused you are
Yeah.
when you have a solid routine.
Yeah, totally.
People you can rely on.
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does.
But unfortunately, not everything is, sunshine and roses in this episode.
No.
There's a pretty big setback that happens.
Oh, yeah, the mood kind of shifts.
Yeah.
There's this planned collaboration with an influencer
Oh,
that falls through. Yeah, which really throws a wrench in his plans.
right.
And remember, we're at the halfway point.
Day 15.
Day 15, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's only at 2% of his financial goal.
2%. So he's trying to get to 100,000. It's only $2,000.
Exactly. 2,000 out of 100,000.
Oh, that's a long way to go.
Yeah, and the clock is ticking.
Big time.
He even shows us his budget,
Oh.
and let's just say it's getting pretty tight.
Yeah. So how much money does he have left at this point?
He's down to his last $300 or so.
$300.
I know, right?
That's not a lot to work with.
Not a lot, especially when you're trying to, scale a business.
Right. Yeah.
So the pressure is definitely on.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time.
So what's the plan? Like what does he need to do to kind of get back on track?
So he realizes, right,
Yeah.
he needs to find an influencer.
Okay.
Specifically in the finance niche.
Okay, so courses on trading.
Exactly. Yeah, trading, e-commerce.
Yeah.
High-ticket stuff.
High ticket stuff. So that makes sense because you're not going to make $100,000
Right.
selling, $5 ebooks.
Exactly. He needs those big sales.
Yeah.
And he explains it really well. He says, selling a $5,000 course on, say, marathon running
Okay.
is way harder than a $5,000 course on building a successful online business.
Right, because people see the value.
Exactly. They see the potential return on investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's really thinking strategically about this.
So now he's on the hunt for this perfect influencer.
Yes.
And it sounds like they need to meet some pretty specific criteria.
Oh, yeah. He's got a whole list.
So what's on the list?
Number one, they got to be ready to launch immediately.
Okay, so no time to waste.
No time to waste. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
They have to have the potential
Yeah.
to generate at least $100,000 in sales.
Wow. So this person's got to have a pretty big audience.
A big engaged audience. Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
And this is a big one. They got to be willing to work on an incredibly tight deadline.
Like how tight are we talking?
10 days.
10 days.
10 days
To launch this whole
to
thing.
get it all done. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's intense.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
It's
Yeah.
a super specialized search.
Right.
And the clock is ticking
Loudly.
loudly. Yeah. And he even compares it to
What's he compare it to?
trying to find a girlfriend with a very specific set of traits.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Right. Which makes an already difficult search
Yeah.
exponentially harder.
So it's like, not only do you have to find someone who's compatible,
Right.
but they also have to have, all these very specific
Qualification.
qualifications, interest, all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
So what happens next?
Well, that's where things get really interesting, but we're going to have to save that for
Okay.
part 2 of our deep dive.
All right, so stay tuned.
So, dude,
We'll be back.
we'll be back.
Okay, so we're back, still on this $100,000 journey,
Yeah.
and we left off with him needing to find an influencer,
Right.
and it's getting down to the wire.
Big time. The pressure's definitely on.
Yeah, 15 days left,
15 days, not a lot of money.
and he's got to find this perfect person to work with.
Exactly. And it's really interesting, this part of the journey,
Yeah.
because it kind of shifts,
What do you mean?
It's less about the external hustle,
Right,
He's been making deals, taking action, all that stuff.
right. Out there, in the world, getting things done.
Exactly. But now it becomes more internal.
Oh, interesting.
It's about resilience.
So it's like he's hit this wall,
Yeah, kind of.
and he's got to figure out, okay, how do I push through this?
Exactly. It's a real test of his problem-solving skills. But
Yeah.
what really stands out to me,
Is that he doesn't try to go it alone.
oh, that's good.
He reaches out for help.
That's smart.
He asks for advice, from the people he's met.
Right, because he's made some connections already
Exactly. He's built this little community around him.
in Amsterdam.
Yeah, in Amsterdam.
That's great.
And this is so important, right?
Yeah.
Because so often we think of entrepreneurship as this lone wolf thing.
Yeah, the lone genius in the garage.
Right, exactly. But in reality, it's about relationships.
Yeah, collaboration.
Collaboration, exactly. Leveraging the wisdom of a community.
Yeah, having people to bounce ideas off of,
Exactly.
to support you, to encourage you.
Totally. And in this case, the community he's found
Yeah.
is so valuable.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by other entrepreneurs, creators,
People who get it.
people who get it, yeah, who've been there.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're willing to offer their perspectives, their connections,
Their help.
their help. Exactly. It's like that saying.
That's a saying. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that.
Right.
It's so true.
He's recognizing that he doesn't have all the answers
Right.
and that asking for guidance can lead to these, like, breakthroughs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you found that to be true in your own experience?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly learning from the people around me.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a conversation
Yeah.
that sparks a new idea
Exactly. That opens up a whole new avenue.
that you wouldn't have seen on your own.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And this is exactly what happens to our YouTuber.
Oh, tell me about it.
Remember that penthouse space?
Yeah, yeah, the one for the event.
The one with the public speaking challenge.
The one where he's terrified.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, what about it?
It turns out the owner of the penthouse
Okay.
is actually pretty well connected
Oh, right.
in the Amsterdam business scene.
So he's not just like some random dude with a penthouse.
No, he's got connections.
Ah.
And after hearing about the YouTubers challenge,
Yeah.
he offers to make some introductions.
What? That's amazing.
Great. Talk about a lucky break.
Yeah, it's like things are starting to align.
Exactly.
Or maybe it's not luck. Maybe it's the result of, him putting himself out there.
You're right. It's that serendipity.
Yeah.
But it's not just luck. It's about being open
Yeah.
to new connections.
Right, being proactive.
Creating the conditions for those chance encounters.
Exactly.
If he hadn't gotten that penthouse,
Yeah.
this connection wouldn't have happened.
Right, dude, right.
It's a good reminder for all of us,
Yeah.
even when things aren't going as planned.
Yeah.
Stay open to possibilities.
Keep nurturing those relationships.
Exactly. You never know where they might lead.
So tell me more about this connection. Who does he introduce him to?
So one of the contacts
Yeah.
is an entrepreneur
Okay.
who's got experience in the finance industry.
perfect.
And he's actually worked with influencers before.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he knows the game.
He knows the game. Yeah, this is huge.
So this is a game changer. right?
Game change.
Because now he's got this direct line
Yeah.
to someone who understands influencer marketing
In the finance niche.
in the finance niche.
Exactly what he needs.
Yeah, this is amazing.
It is.
It seems like things are really starting to look up for him.
They are, and it gets even better.
Okay, tell me what happened.
So this new contact, right?
Yeah.
He also has a deep understanding of the Amsterdam market.
Okay.
And he's got this knack for connecting people
hmm
who can benefit from each other.
So he's like a master networker.
He is. He's like a connector, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And he sees the potential in the YouTubers challenge
Yeah.
and agrees to help him find the right influencer.
What? That's incredible.
Right? Leveraging his own network, his expertise.
So this is huge, right?
It's huge.
Because he's gone from like feeling lost and alone
Yeah, totally.
to having this ally.
Yeah, a mentor.
A mentor, yeah, this person who believes in him.
Exactly. And it's a powerful reminder, right? That
Right.
we don't have to achieve our goals alone.
Yeah, there's strength in collaboration
There is.
and in asking for help.
And in finding those who have already walked the path.
That's beautiful.
It is. Yeah.
So this is like a huge injection of optimism
Yeah.
and possibility.
Absolutely. It's like a breath of fresh air
Yeah. All
into
right.
the whole challenge.
But even with this new partner, I mean, it's not over, right?
No, not
The clock is still ticking.
Oh, yeah. They still have to find the right influencer,
Right.
negotiate a deal, create the offer, launch it,
All in a few days.
all in a ridiculously short amount of time.
Yeah, it's still a huge mountain to climb.
It is. So let's dive into that next phase
Okay.
and see how they tackle this monumental task.
Okay. So we're back, and it's the final countdown
It is down to the wire.
to see if this 1 cent can become $100,000.
100,000. Yeah. Can he pull it off?
It's pretty wild.
I know.
Last time we saw our YouTuber find this new connection
Yeah, the entrepreneur.
who was going to help him find the right influencer.
Right.
I'm so curious, did they find someone?
Well, it's not that simple.
Of course not.
There wouldn't be much of a story if it was, right?
Right, of course.
So this entrepreneur, right, he uses his network
Yeah.
and he finds a few promising candidates.
Okay.
But remember, those criteria were very specific.
Finance, big audience.
Finance,
Oh.
ready to launch like now.
Right. And work super fast.
Exactly, very specific stuff.
So did any of them work out?
They narrow it down to two.
Okay.
Two potential partners, but each one has, like, its own challenges.
Oh, okay. All right. So give me the rundown. Like, what's the deal, the first one?
First one, huge following, proven track record.
Sounds perfect, right?
Right, exactly what you'd think you'd want.
So what's the problem?
Well, this influencer wants a big cut.
A big cut of the profit.
A big chunk, yeah, which, that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they make their money.
Right.
But in this case...
It would leave our YouTuber with way less.
Oh, so he might not hit the 100,000?
Exactly, that's the risk.
Okay, all right, so that's tricky.
Yeah.
What about influencer number 2?
Okay, so number 2 is newer to the scene.
Okay, so less established.
Yeah, but growing super fast.
So the audience is there, but maybe not as big.
Exactly. But this influencer, they love the YouTuber's vision.
Oh, okay.
They're super passionate, and they're willing to work with a way smaller cut.
Oh, wow. Okay, so potentially way more profit for the YouTuber.
Right.
What's the catch with that one then?
The catch is the audience isn't as proven.
Oh, so they might not, like, buy the thing.
Exactly. They might not be ready to invest at that level yet.
So it's like a gamble.
Total gamble, yeah. Big reward, big risk.
So what does he do? Which one does he pick?
He chooses.
He walks away.
He walks away from both.
After all that, like, are you serious?
I know, it's a bold move.
Wow.
He realizes that both of them have good things.
Yeah.
But neither feels quite right.
It's like that Goldilocks thing.
Exactly.
Too hot, too cold.
And he's not willing to compromise.
Even with the deadline looming.
Nope. He trusts his gut.
Wow. So what does he do then? How does he hit the 100,000 with no influencer?
That's the cliffhanger.
Oh, come on.
The episode ends with him deciding to go it alone.
Solo mission with, like, days left?
It's down to the wire, facing even more uncertainty.
Wow, this guy's fearless.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is. It really shows that, like, entrepreneurship is not a straight line.
No, it's a roller coaster for sure.
Highs and lows, and you got to be able to pivot.
And trust your instincts, make tough calls.
Even when they seem counterintuitive.
Totally.
So what do you think? Would you have walked away like he did?
That's a tough one. It really makes you think.
It does. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive.
Another wild ride.
But be sure to join us next time. Who knows what'll happen?
Who knows? Maybe he hits the 100,000.
Maybe he fails spectacularly.
We'll have to wait and see.
All right. See you next time.
See